Hi guys, it's Ian from Donk TCG here, and welcome back to another live match using our pre-release Build and Battle 40 card decks. So this is a matchup between, on the right hand side using the Necrozma sleeves, Jacob, one of the other Donk TCG guys, and on our left hand side in the red sleeves, it's one of our friends Jordan, who was at pre-release with us that weekend. So hi Jordan, hope you're watching. Cool, look, you're on YouTube, yay, enjoy. Right, so Jacob, on the right hand side, as I said, he is playing the deck that John's girlfriend Danny actually played, and that is Palkia GX with Magnezone. And on the left hand side, Jordan, he's playing the deck that he was running there, and that's Uxie, Mesprit, Noivern comes down at one point as well, so loads of cool stuff for you to see. Vivillion's in there as well, or as I've said in other videos, discount Butterfree, because let's face it, that's what he is, and Butterfree is far, far superior than him, and we all know it. So you can see here that they have started, and Jacob starts that beautiful full art Palkia GX. Now it's a lovely card to look at, it's a terrible card to play with, and as this match plays out you may see the liability of it. What's really, really unique about this is it's two of the same GX in pre-release. You know, see Jordan reading it there, he's just double checking exactly what it does. And it's very rare that you see one GX in decks at pre-release, never mind two, and never mind two of the exact same card. So that's what made this deck so interesting to us. And Danny and I actually played in the final round of our pre-release, and the winner of that was going to be the winner of the full thing, and we had a terrific game. So it did give a good showing, to be honest, but it doesn't mean it's a good card, and it doesn't mean that it's going to be particularly valuable moving forward. So you can see that Jordan has started to set up here. He's attached the Psychic Energy to the Uxie that he has in the active. He's now putting Inky on the bench. He's also got Noibat, Furfrou, and that Pheromosa in there as well. Noibat is a really cool card, and I think this could be a card that sees some play maybe in kind of regular format. His second attack for a double colourless is just gets us. It just makes your opponent show your opponent shows their hand, and they get rid of the item cards in there. And that could be a really powerful card. Jacob, on his side, you can see that he puts a Water Energy onto the Palkia GX in the active. He has the Magnemite on the bench, and he lilies first turn of the game, so he can lily up to 8 there. And he's looking like he doesn't have much else that he can do here, which is quite disappointing, to be honest. You would hope that you maybe get some more basics down, that you might be able to play some timer balls, a nest ball, something to try and help him get set up, but you can see he just needs to pass the turn. It's an unfortunate start there, and Jordan draws his card and he's ready to go. So that Uxie can put in a fair bit of work here. That attack for a single Psychic Energy does 30 damage, and you choose one of your opponent's Pokemon's attacks, the active Pokemon's attack, and you can't use that during the next turn. So Jordan here probably going to pick that Hydro Pump, I think it was called. I can't remember the exact name of the attack, but Jacob isn't going to be able to use that attack anyway, because you need to have 3 energy on to use it, and I don't see a way that he can accelerate at this particular point. But Jordan's going to be able to do that for turns coming, where he can try and slow down Jacob's play. As you can see here that he's nest balled, and he's grabbed Scatterbug off of that. That's the Scatterbug that has the rare Candy attack, where if you flip a coin and you get heads, you just go straight up to Vivillon as your attack, and it's really cool. I love that mechanic. I think it's so cool, really unique as well. It's not something that I've seen before, as I've said previously as well. So Jordan attaches the Grass Energy to that Scatterbug, and 30 damage onto the Palkia, and unsurprisingly there he did call that Hydro Pump, Hydro Pressure. I can't remember the exact term, but he called that attack. So second Water Energy comes onto that Palkia GX, and Jacob drops Looker to draw the bottom 3 cards of his deck. He needs to start seeing something, I guess, here. He can start attacking next turn in theory, but if Uxie keeps shutting off his 3 energy attack, he's going to struggle. He'd like to see a Magneton obviously as well. He'd like to see anything, but there's nothing there, and he has to pass. And you get a wee look at his hand here, you can see some things like a Judge, you can see the Magnezone in there, but no Magneton. Jordan attaches straight onto the Pheromosa and just bang, 30 damage with the Uxie, getting that Palkia down to 120 HP and shutting off its attack again. So even though you can see a little bit of Jacob's hand again, you can see he has that Water Energy that he can attach for that 3 energy attack there. He can't use it because that's the one Jordan's named off of Uxie, and Uxie putting in some serious work here. and it was a great card to have in pre-release, and we've mentioned it in other videos as well. One of the kind of, as a group, one of our favourite things about pre-release this time was that Uxie Mesprit kind of set that you had. You had Azelf in there as well, but no one was really playing Azelf. It didn't really have that big an impact or that great an effect, so Azelf was missed out most of the time. But playing with Uxie and Mesprit was a lot of fun. You can see Jacob there playing another Looker, so that's a Looker 2 turns in a row. He gets the Great Ball, so down comes the Great Ball. You can see that second Palkia GX is the top 7 there, but I think he's going to go Magneton, and that is definitely the right play. So finally, he's managed to get the Magneton, and the Magneton's going to come down, obviously, to evolve up the Magnemite, and we know he's got the Magnezone in hand, so that's going to come down next turn as well, we would assume, unless Jordan plays a Judge or something like that, and then he can start to accelerate the energy on. Now, Jordan has to be thinking here, what is the right play? Because Jacob, benching a Cloncher there, so obviously Clotzer is going to come up as well at some point, and he's quite interesting. You can do some snipe damage with him, so potentially if Jordan's retreating, Jacob, you still get some knockouts. But as I was saying, Jordan has to be thinking here, Magneton on the bench, he has to expect the Magnezone next turn. He can see Jacob's got a huge hand, so if he does choose to attack with Uxie, he has to make the decision over whether the right call is to stop the GX attack, which would mean that the Uxie would get knocked out, but he would keep his energy, or to stop the regular attack and then force Jacob to use that GX attack when maybe he doesn't want to. You can see Jordan there just attach to Pheromosa and attack, so Palkia now at 90 HP, he's taken half the health away of Palkia just using that Uxie. Jacob attaches to Lightning Energy onto the Palkia using that Magnetic Circuit ability, and down comes Judge. So shuffle in, both players shuffle in and draw 4, similar to an N. It actually is an N because they both have 4 prizes left right now, but that's the effect of it all the time. It doesn't affect it, it's not affected by the prizes like N is. So drawn 4 here. You can see Jacob there, he's got a couple of cards that he can play. He can bench that Furfrou if he wants to. He can evolve the Cloncher into the Clotzer. He attaches to the Clotzer with that water energy, and see Jordan needs to read it, and it's no surprise here that we're having to read quite a few of these cards because, let's be honest, they're brand new. This is the first time that we've been playing with them, so we need to just double check that we're in the right place. So you can see here Jacob does use that GX attack, so Jordan obviously shut off the Hydro Pressure attack last turn, so Jacob takes the knockout, gets himself a prize, and takes all of Jordan's energy off the board. Do you know, it's actually quite a good attack. 150 damage, if we're talking about in a more standard format rather than a pre-release, 150, put a choice band on there, 180, you're one shot in a Lele, you're getting rid of all your opponent's energy in the field as well. There is something about this attack that is really good. There is a lot of good things about it. Its problem is it costs 3 water energy, 2 colourless energy, and it's just so difficult to actually pull off. You can see that Magnezone here is putting in the work to help it reach those numbers, but is Palkia Magnezone a deck that you really want to play? I don't think you do, to be honest. I don't think it's consistent enough. I don't think it hits hard enough. I don't think there's enough utility in Palkia's second attack to really rely on that as your main guy. But in this format, it's fun, and it was cool to see it getting played. So Jordan promotes up the Noibat there. Obviously having a think here if there's a way that he could take the knockout. Now, he was powering up that Pheromosa before, so all he would have needed was another Grass Energy, and Pheromosa could have come up and taken a really easy knockout on Palkia, but obviously that was shuffled away. Down comes the Noivern, so Noivern takes him up to 120 HP. Down comes the Psychic Energy, and you can see that his first attack here does 20 damage, so it does 30 damage, so Jacob puts that up to 130 damage on the Palkia. Oh, it does do 20 damage. You played Kukui this turn, excuse me. Played Kukui, that's where the extra 20 damage there came from, and also confuses as well. So Jacob now, he's got 50 HP left on that Palkia, he has 5 energy on it, and it's confused, and I think he probably does make the right call there by retreating up to the Clotzer. So you can see Clotzer's first attack does 40 damage, just snipe 40, whatever you like. But you can charge up that attack with his other attack, and then it reads that next turn that damage is 120. So it's one of these kind of, I'm sure you've seen them in things like Geodudes and stuff like that in the past, where you use the attack to power up the attack the following turn. Again, it's too slow in a kind of standard format, but in pre-release it can be useful. And Danny, when I played her, she used this to some good effect. She really did, and she was working well with the snipe damage as well, so there is some utility in it. But you can see there, Jordan attaching onto the Noivern, 20 damage and confusion again, and he's just going to try and take these. He's trying to power up the Noivern so he can start hitting that 70 damage attack, but in the meantime, confusing your opponent's Pokemon is really good. And as you may have heard mentioned in other videos and other discussions we've had, status conditions in pre-release are really powerful because you're forcing your opponent to discard the energy to retreat them. There's really not many other ways to get rid of them. You don't have something like a full heal, for example. You don't have Guzma to switch. You don't have Acerola. And by the way, as a wee side note, there were so many times over the weekend where I thought, I really wish I had a Guzma right now, or I really wish I had an Acerola right now. So it's fun to play a different kind of format, but you do miss those kind of cards. So you're having to burn the energy to discard. You're having to burn the energy to retreat these kind of Pokemon if you're going to go for it. Or, as Jacob seems to be thinking about here, you attack under confusion and you roll, and if it's heads it goes through, and if it's tails you take 30 damage, and let's see, and it's heads, so the attack goes through, and Jacob has used that attack that we were talking about earlier, which powers it up for the next turn. So Jacob's is now base damage on the other attack is going to be 120, but Jordan there, he puts the extra damage he puts the energy onto the Noivern, hits for that damage that he needs to take the knockout. Noivern's second attack there did the 70 damage as we were talking about, and its secondary attack, secondary effect, sorry guys, I'll get there eventually, that it has, the second ability that it has, is that the attack, and I'm just checking it for you, so I've got the exact wording of it. If your opponent's active Pokemon's confused, it does 70 more damage. So it actually did 140 there because the Clotzer was already confused. Jacob throws up the Palkia GX, the one that he retreated earlier. It's still got 50 on it. So that Noivern putting in some work, taking a big knockout on the Clotzer, and now it can take an easy knockout on the Palkia if Jacob decides to leave that active. He needs to hit an energy to retreat it, and if he just leaves it sitting there, Noivern does take that easy knockout. As I said, that puts Jordan down to 3 prizes, if indeed that's what happens. Currently they're both at 3. If Jacob can hit a water energy, however, it needs to be a water energy, he can take the knockout, because that hydro pressure attack does 60 damage plus an extra 20 for each water energy attached to Palkia, which obviously 60 and 60 would get you to the 120 you need to take that knockout. So Jacob is very much looking for that water energy here, but he has nothing. He doesn't even have an electric energy to retreat it. He has to leave it in the active, and in many ways that's the writing on the wall. Jordan can take this knockout. It's going to go down. He'll go down to 1 prize. That also switches on White Ray for Pheromosa, which is something to look out for as well. If you have 1 prize card remaining, it does 90 plus an extra 90, therefore 180 damage. And in pre-release, that's going to one-shot just about anything that you're going to see. So it's really easy to take that last prize if you can power up the second attack on the Pheromosa. So Jacob throws up the Magnezone here. Now Magnezone can knock out Noivern. It does 130 damage anyway, but it has weakness, so it's going to double and put him in a better position, I guess, when he takes those 3 energy off the board. But it's still not a great spot for Jacob, and he has nothing. He just has to pass here. A bit of bad luck coming on to Jacob here. He obviously had the energy on the Mesprit, but nothing that he could do to get the Magnezone into a spot to attack. Jordan's just dropped a Malamar here, so he can accelerate the energy, and there it is. If he has the grass, he can take the game here. Does he have the other grass energy? Yes, he does. So Noivern's going to retreat. It's going to come up, and as we were talking about there, White Ray does 180 and knocks out the Magnezone pretty easily. So again guys, hopefully you enjoyed that video. Hopefully you enjoyed that matchup between Jacob, and a big thank you to Jordan again for getting involved and taking part in this video, and hopefully he enjoyed filming it with us. get in touch with us on Twitter. Obviously subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll find us on Instagram, Facebook, all the usual kind of places. We want to hear your feedback. We want to know about the kind of decks you guys were playing at pre-release, what you pulled, so on and so forth. And keep an eye out for all the extra Forbidden Light content that we've got coming up over the next few weeks. Thank you very much for listening. I'll speak to you next time. Goodbye.